I think one of the things we were really big on is like, like self-reflection, right?
Yeah.
Actually, we realized like some people don't really do like self-reflection or like meditation. Actually, I heard it from a couple of friends as well. Like whenever they had like a bad experience, what they would do is they would write it down on a piece of paper, but instead of crumpling it, they would like burn it.
Okay.
Like they would burn it. It's like,
Demon
like
time.
Yeah, actually, like it was like crazy for me. I was like, yo, you're like burning up your like memories and stuff.
And like also like if there's somebody you wanted to get over with, I think removing their pictures.
Oh yes,
it's the way to go.
Yes, definitely. Gotta delete everything, bro.
You gotta delete it.
Everything.
It's not healthy. It's
not.
like because every time you go through your camera or whatever, you see them, and you remembered by the times you had a good time. You're like, I can't move on.
Yeah.
Right. And like the only way to move on is to. And it's like it's not that you completely move on. It's just like I don't know if it's just a guy thing or if it's in general even, but it's just like you always have this piece of them in you. Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Crashcourseonnothing podcast. I'm happy you're here and you clicked on this episode. Thank you so much for the love and what is it called? Support that we were getting. Sorry. What is it? What do I like? I think last episode I also butchered the beginning, the way I started. But anyways, yeah. Today I'm joined with one of my friends, David.
What's good, guys?
Yeah. You've never met him before. He's actually. When did I meet you this year?
I think we met probably first semester.
I think I met you through Noah.
Yeah, through Noah, and then
yeah. You were hanging out with Noah and Mills and Daisy, I think, and I came from class and I was like, oh, who's this kid? And then he's like, tell them what year you're in actually.
Like my program.
Yeah.
So I'm in first year life sciences. Technically, I'm their age, but I was in the military for 2 years after I graduated from high school.
Yeah. And behind the camera, let me please introduce Noah. Thank you for being here again.
Thank you, Noah.
Shout out. Bless you, Noah. But anyways, yeah. So you obviously been in the military. I don't know how much you can talk about that. But how was this experience and how has that shaped you into the man you are today?
I think won't go too much into detail about like what I did.
Obviously, yeah, we don't want to.
But I think it's been a really good experience, personally speaking. Like it was definitely a time of growth for me. I think at the time before I started, I was also going through a heartbreak season. Yeah. But a lot of lessons like discipline, cooperation, like teamwork. I think a lot of things like real world life experiences, right, that you might not be able to learn from a textbook. I learned during that time, like time management, like also I think one of the most important lessons was like learning to be comfortable with myself and like being by myself for most of it, right? Because I was overseas and I didn't really have friends there.
Yeah.
Didn't really have anyone else to go out with. So I would go to the shopping mall alone. I would go watch a movie alone.
Did you go to the restaurant alone?
I did go to restaurants alone.
That is actually very tough. I will not lie.
Yeah.
Go to the restaurant and just sit by yourself and just eat is like kind of a big challenge. I've never even tried it. I feel like maybe I should. Maybe, I don't know, that would be like a test if I can be by myself.
So I think I was actually having a chat with like a couple friends. Like I think one of the things we were really big on is like, like self-reflection, right?
Yeah.
Actually, we realized like some people don't really do like self-reflection or like meditation. So one thing I like to tell people is like, are you ever able to like, like maybe go to like a coffee shop like for a day, right? You just sit down, like pull out a notebook and like maybe just do like a little bit of journaling or just like, write about something, like find something interesting to write about and like just be able to spend that time alone. Because I really believe like, being confident in yourself and being confident in who you are and being by yourself, like you learn about yourself as a person. And like that, in that way, like understanding yourself as a person lets you be a better person as well.
And so does that make you alone? Does that make you lonely? Does that lead to loneliness? Because like if you spend your time alone all the time, does it make you lonely or does it make you antisocial? Like what kind of effects would it have? I don't know. Like, could it be beneficial in the long run?
Yeah, no, I definitely believe so, right? I think in times you'll probably feel like, I mean, especially when you're first like going out, right? You're like, oh shit, like I miss my friends. I wish they were here and stuff. But I think when you start to dig deeper, like you're discovering your values, like who you are as a person, like, and then also maybe like let's say reflecting on experiences that you've gone through, right? Like in this scenario, like maybe I could have done this better, or maybe I shouldn't have done that, right? I think it helps you improve as a person, and like in a way it helps you learn who you are and who you are in that group, if that makes sense.
This is through journaling?
I think not just journaling, but also like self-reflection in general.
And why do you think it's important to self-reflect? Like, to the people out there who do not self-reflect, I self-reflect some here and there. Like, I think it really has helped me. But for the people who struggle to be consistent with it, what kind of advice would you say? And why is it important?
I think I'd say like understanding yourself as a person is a very important aspect into understand maybe like your function. Not really
Okay, like how you
function.
think.
Yeah, how you think, how you react to things. But also like it could be like goal oriented, right? Like where do you want to go in your life? What do you want to do? What do you like to do, right? I think it's all these things, right, that make up who you are as a person. And then being able to like understand your values, understand your goals, understand your motivations is really, really beneficial just in like helping you get around life, right? Like what do you want to do? Yeah.
No, honestly, this is, maybe I need to do that. Like, I think some of the times that you get, I've really spoken about this a lot. You get caught up in your head. This is one of the things I struggle with, man.
Yeah.
Like, especially now, let's talk about this summer, right? Summer's around the corner. We have 4 months right now, right? No school. I mean, you could take, but assuming you don't take summer school, right? And these 4 months right now, they're not that much. Right? If you think about them, they're not really that much. Yeah. Like we were just talking about this earlier before we started shooting. It's like they're pretty short, and it's like you told me like, hey, don't pressure yourself to make sure like just make sure if you have a goal, work towards it, but don't pressure yourself like, oh, in these 4 months, like this is the death, or do I live after this? Or, like, it's not end be all, like, and it's like I guess it's just important to then implement journaling and kind of like envision what you want in life, and like maybe nobody needs to even know about that, and it's kind of a secret between you and yourself, and maybe that also helps build friendships with yourself too, right? It's just like maybe the journaling is kind of important actually. Like I've never thought about it because like here's the thing, like I'm like, okay, like if I journal right now, or sometimes even when like I have a day that I don't like, a bad day, right? Yeah. And honestly, it has happened through bad experiences with people in life. Not bad. Honestly, they've shaped me and they made me a better person. So I wouldn't want to say it's from bad people. No, it's just like people who are being people for their first time, and they're living their first time, right? It's just like, I remember like getting into writing down, making a diary maybe. Yeah. But here's the thing with me, like every time I wrote something, I deleted the paper. Like I wrote down the paper, right? I was like, okay, this is it. I scrambled the paper and then throw it in the trash. And it's like I don't want to keep it as a memory because it's like a bad memory. Yeah. It's like a bad thing that made me feel bad, and so I don't want to keep it. Well, I don't know if that's like maybe just a bad relationship with myself towards what has happened. But maybe I need to like figure that out for myself.
No, I don't necessarily think so. Like, actually, I heard it from a couple of friends as well. Like, whenever they had like a bad experience, what they would do is they would write it down on a piece of paper, but instead of crumpling it, they would like burn it. Okay. Like they would burn it. It's like,
Demon
like
time.
Yeah, actually, like it was like crazy for me. I was like, yo, you're like burning up your like memories and stuff. I think metaphorically, it's like I'm over it, or like I'm getting rid of this, right? Like,
that's what I'm like, okay, you know what? The only way I can move past that thing or that issue is like for me to like take this piece of paper, rip it apart, put it in the trash. And like, also like if there's somebody you wanted to get over with, I think removing their pictures
Oh yes.
is the way to go.
Yes, definitely. Gotta delete everything, bro.
You gotta delete it.
Everything.
It's not healthy. It's like
It's
it's like
not.
because every time you go through your camera roll or whatever,
Yeah.
you see them, and you remembered by the times you had a good time. You're like, I can't move on,
Yeah.
right? And like the only way to move on is to, and it's like not that you completely move on. It's just like I don't know if it's just a guy thing or if it's in general even, but it's just like you always have this piece of them and you.
I think it might be probably for everyone actually.
Yeah, like for everyone, I think just like I don't know if it's pain that you feel or like this like what could have been, but you feel it at a very small level.
Yeah.
On the long run, because it numbs the pain, and I think it's all through journaling and what you've been talking about. So
No, but I think back to like the you know, like that pain, like you say, like that person. I mean, I think it's important to own it. You know what I mean? Like
Definitely.
that person was at one point a part of your life,
Yeah.
right? That person was at one point like someone important to you.
Yeah.
Someone you hold dear, and maybe like you guys have gone your separate ways, right?
Definitely, yeah.
But like I think it's maybe like say irresponsible to say to be like, oh, I don't want this person anymore, or like
yeah.
like you guys might have cut each other off, but I think it's always gonna be like they've been there, right?
Yeah, I think it's not just that. It's just like they've shaped you to the person that
Yeah.
you are today.
Yeah.
It's like they made you. They can either make you a better person, or they make you a worse person. But at the end of the day, this is the funny part. It's your choice to choose how you become after it.
Yes, that's true.
Whatever the situation was, and I'm like, damn, bro. Like, I really like. It's hard, right? Because like I'm pretty sure you've been in a spot where
Yeah.
you know you felt like, damn, like, where am I? Who am I now?
Mm-hmm.
And like, if you've been in that situation, how did you overcome it? Because you're gonna have to humble yourself. You have to ground yourself and be like, okay, well, like, this doesn't shape who I am, right? Like,
Yeah.
the situation, whatever that has happened in the past, it doesn't shape who I am.
Mm-hmm.
How do you get over that?
So like, how do you get over a bad situation?
Yeah.
Man, I think it's gonna be different for everyone, right?
Yeah.
Like I think both of us can say we have the gym, right? Like
You know what? Even I don't know if the gym really works anymore. Like,
you don't think so?
I do not think so. No.
Okay.
I don't think the gym works anymore because I don't know. Like, it's kind of a tough situation. Like, gym is like something that's part of my life now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like, I've been doing this for like 3 years,
yeah.
and it makes me feel good,
Mm-hmm.
but it doesn't make me forget.
Or
It's not that, and here we go. Like, I don't think you ever forget, right?
yeah. Yeah.
But sure, maybe for everybody it's different.
I think the gym helps me regulate my stress levels, but I think maybe when it comes to that one specific thing that you're thinking about, right? I think it's learning to accept,
Yeah.
and then learning to let go.
Let go. The biggest form of love that I've learned this year is let go. Because you love that person so much, right? So let go. Because you should, and this goes out, I think the hardest part, because this connects to a lot of things, like journaling, reflecting, and understanding who you are as a person, as a human being, right? The biggest form of self-love is letting go. And because it's so hard, because you don't want it, because your brain is like, no, this is the image that I wanted with them. This is the dream that we've built up, right? Because you built that imagination.
Yeah.
And it could be anything. It doesn't have to be specific to one certain issue. But letting go of that situation is good. Because if there's anything there, you will know.
That's true.
When you let go, and you're like, man, you know what? I love this person so much. I want to see them happy without me. That's the strongest.
That is.
Because that's the only way you move on.
It's the hardest one too.
It's the hardest one, and it's like a lot of people don't want that. They want to just
Yeah.
hold on to it, because it's so hard. The pain you feel is like, damn, like, I don't want that. I don't want to see them happy without me, because I'm gonna feel hurt. But then But then when you start seeing them happy without you and they're having a good time and you accept it and like, man, you know what? I'm happy with them. If it ain't, as long as they're doing good, as long as they're alive and they're just happy, and if it ain't with me, I hope it would be with somebody else. And I want the best for them because I know my time will come. So I don't know. What are your thoughts on what I said?
No, I definitely agree. I think letting go is a very difficult thing to do, right? It's like, you know, like forgiving and then letting go, right? Like, let's take a scenario, right, where let's say you're angry with a friend.
Yeah.
Right? I think you can be mad at them and like maybe they've already asked for your forgiveness, right?
Yeah.
But then I think at that point, the anger that you have inside of you, like, to a certain extent, it doesn't hurt them anymore, right? Because if genuinely they want to ask for your forgiveness, the only thing the anger is going to hurt is yourself.
Definitely.
Because it's going to stop you from doing a lot of things, or it's going to stop you maybe from like repairing that friendship, or it's going to stop you from doing something else, or it's going to eat up the thoughts in your head, or whatever it is, or it's going to consume a big part of your life. So I think, you know, letting go, like, it is a very big thing, it's a very important thing to, I think a lot of people need to learn.
To kind of conclude this episode, how are we going to connect that to journaling? For the viewers,
I think like you said, you know, like actually that crumpling technique, or what some people do is like burning that piece of paper.
Yeah,
I think that's metaphorically and like emotionally sometimes I believe like that helps people to get over it.
Yeah.
But I think another thing is like, you know, when you write it down and you're reading it over, like for me, it's like learning to accept those feelings, right? Like, this is what happened, you know, it's part of me now. I think it's time to move on and learn how to grow from that.
Definitely.
Yeah.
And, you know, for a lot of the things in life, like, the biggest thing you can do for yourself is understand that, or the biggest form of self-love you can do is just accepting that just things that don't work out sometimes in life. As hard as it could be, you know, like, this is life. Like, you can't force any situation to happen or anything to work. If it's meant to be, it's meant to be, right?
It's meant to be, it's meant to be.
And I've been in situations where you can't force anything on anybody. You can't. If you know, if it's right, it'll flow. And if it's not,
that's true.
It won't go your way no more. Like, trust me, it's a no. So yeah, like, I hope you guys like kind of understood what we're trying to put out there today, and just understand that I know letting go is kind of hard.
Yeah,
we spoke about that, and like, I don't know who would want that, right? But that's the biggest form of self-love for you, and it's love for them, because it's like, I want them to do well, and it's healthy for you, because then you're letting go of that image and that idea that they don't belong to you. Yeah. They're not yours anymore. Like, they're not.
They're not.
And so I hope y'all have been inspired by what we said and what we spoke about, and like kind of got like a good feel for, you know, just a genuine feeling that you may have had with somebody, and it's understanding that at times the best thing you can do is just accept it, and as painful as it is, you become someone different after it. I promise you that. So, any last words?
No. Thanks for watching, guys.
Yeah, thank you for being here.
Thank you for being here. Thank you for having me.